Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Cobalt Core, where I don't really remember what we were doing. If I'm honest, it's been a hell of a last couple of weeks in my personal life, but there is a sticky note attached to the monitor that says, hey, just do this thing again. So here we are, we're just gonna do this thing again. I mean, I can see how this would work, right? This makes sense. All right, Kat, what do we got? Random cards to type A or get a common artifact. Type A in this deck, like what is multi-shots? Type A is shoot 3 times. I do not hate that. EMP slugs type A is the one that does only 1 heat. You know what? I think we're going to go ahead and take 2 random upgrades to type A. Awesome. We get multi-shot, caught one of them. That's fantastic news. Okay, well, Jupiter's moons indeed. How do we want to open this? Obviously, we have a pretty solid heat sink, like Jupiter's moons. Heat sink just to get me over to here. Basic block will cover the damage, and then bam, bam, bam. It's a start. Okay, this is actually pretty good because the Jupiter's moons here allows us to burn both of their intents. And I have to imagine it's over at that point. Well, I suppose a problem we could have... Never mind. You know what? That's still 3 damage. I was going to say a problem we could have is that they just swerve out of the way of one of the drones. Okay. So... Boy, I don't remember. Did we ever figure out if overdriving affects the damage that comes out of the Jupiter drone? It would, right? Because it effectively, it increases the number that appears on the card. So that's the shot that comes out of the Jupiter drone. So Heat Wave is probably not terrible. Ooh, Heat Wave B gives power drive. Barrage also would not be terrible. Especially given, you know, the way that it, the movement affects me and not the drones. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know if any of these cards are good enough to go in the deck. I think we're gonna skip on those. Okay, so we can fight 2 elites if we take a path through this node. That would seem to be the play. And if we're gonna do that, I think let's go unknown energy signature first. Howdy, did you know we're running an upcycling program here? We're turning old unwanted junk into new wanted junk. Place a card with the same rarity card from another deck. Okay, I do get to choose the card that gets replaced. Or replace a card with a random rarer card. You know what? Give me... If the card belongs to a crewmate, the replacement will as well. So we can upgrade one of somebody's cards into a better one of their cards. I actually kind of like the temp shield. Am I allowed to upgrade, like... Yeah, let's just like upgrade basic shot, which is a thing that we're kind of I guess the one place where I get a little leery about upgrading basic shot is what if it upgrades into something that doesn't do damage, right? We don't really want to decrease the amount of stuff in our deck that deals damage. Admin deploy is pretty bad right now, although it is of course worth noting that it could be pretty good once we start taking more interesting cards. I'm gonna upgrade a basic shot. It turned into volatile vapor. Okay. That's interesting. So it lowers our shield capacity by 1 when we play it for the rest of the battle, but I don't see that being a problem very often. I would say that was a huge gain. Huge gain for us. Okay, heatsink here is phenomenal. Probably want to do that before we go launching the drone. And then I guess we just like bank some resources. Okay. A little inconvenient. Kind of wish that I had a point of drone shift. But, you know, obviously, like moving my body to the right here is pretty okay. Moving my body to the left and just using Jupiter's moons to counter the missile is also fine, I guess. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. Just get rid of you and then bam, bam. I think that's pretty okay. He's getting away. So lunge doesn't quite get me to safety. Well, this is a 3 damage missile. I guess we can just do the exact same thing again, right? But it doesn't get us any damage, sadly. The other thing I can do, okay, so yeah, we can lunge and then tick right, throw up a Jupiter's Moons and this, and make him come over here and play nice in front of my guns. Still though, the cowardice, legendary. Well, basic dodge, Jupiter's Moons, reroll. There we go. You will stand in front of my drones and you will like it. Sometimes you just have to bait them over there. I don't know that any of this stuff is worthwhile. Returning an exhausted card to your hand is not good now. But once we start picking up really good cards, it might become good. I don't know. I'm not gonna pick up a common that might be okay later. I think that feels like a way toward foolishness. Well, I would prefer if you did not apply a buff to yourself, friend. What if you just did not do that? Okay, little bit of defense. Slide. Let's just accumulate here. Let you burn your temp defense. Really good time to draw the safety override. Thank you, Drake. Guess we'll spit out one of these and pretty solid, pretty solid. Love an enemy where just like their whole ship is weak. Okay, so if I volatile vapor here, he's going to survive the first 2 shots. I don't actually know what's going to happen to us. Well, I guess I can Jupiter's Moons to absorb 1 shot. The thing is, I don't know if it will execute the entire volatile vapor and then do his paybacks, or if it will payback per hit. Okay, it was payback per hit. Front-loaded blast. Attack for 4 damage, but add 3 fumes to your draw pile. Well, given the thing we're doing with the drones, I have to say this feels pretty great, actually. Boost is cool. Prepped batteries is also cool. I often end up applying this to something silly, I feel like. Prepped batteries is fine. It's totally good. It's Wizbo! I'm back. And this time I've got sensors set up to measure all your magic. Hocus crocus. Not cool, dude. Is that what a wizard sounds like? Is that the voice I was using for him before? I don't think that's right. Let us not get shot in this part of our faces. We will deploy the Jupiter's Moons. I love that you can see Wizbo standing outside of his ship. Like, that's not a safe thing to be doing, my friend. Let's take a little bit of that, and then you can take a little bit of this, and then I can gain some of this, and then we'll decorrupt this core. Okay, it is time for the magic. This enemy is going to give you a card wherever you are, and he's going to apply a status effect. For a second there, I was like, the symbols are so similar. You can tell it's been a minute. I'm a little out of practice. Is front-loaded blast good here already? You'd really like for it to hit more than one person, right? Or for it to hit more than one spot. I'm gonna heat sink. And rather than doing 1 point of damage, I think I'd rather bank a dodge. All right. I know how this goes. Ooh, EMP slugs. So there's no way to get all 3 drones on him. So that being the case, I'm probably not playing a drone this turn at all, right? We're just gonna do basic shift, swap y'all over to here, and then we EMP slug to turn off the gun. And I'll take a point of hull damage, but you know, whatever. No, detox. I cast greater lesser beam. Warden Cudden's unacceptable odors. Yeah, I think rather than heatsink, let's just get Max back in case we might need one of his cards. Okay, you are exposed to 2 parts, and that's good enough, right? It sure is. Get fucked. I mean, good battle to you. So you know what I mean. What does this do? Oh, okay, just lose a hull. You can upgrade it to not lose a hull. And this is the one that doesn't decrease. I kind of think I want to take power play with the intention of getting the upgrade. In a lot of situations, the 1 point of hull loss isn't that big of a deal anyway. Yeah, I like that. And then we're going high. Okay, we're taking that strong start whether I want it or not. Yeah. Keep this up, keep this up. This sure would be a good time to have that EMP. Well, gosh, or piercing. Can you imagine if we had that that artifact that makes all of your drones pierce? You know what? I think that's probably a what do you call it? An Isaac artifact, though, huh? That would make sense. Well, do I want to just Jupiter's moon his drone or his incoming missile? I think I'm going to. I think this turn's play is power play and that, and hit for 6. Softens them up some. Jupiter's moons and bam, bam, bam. It's like pretty solid. So just jump to the side. It is flippable. That's interesting, but I don't think any of this stuff's good enough to take either. You're too easy to find. Why would you want to? Every time you find me, it goes so badly. Why are you trying? All right, well, Jupiter's moons. If I hit the reroll, we're not taking anything here. And then I can front-loaded blast for 8, or I can just multi-shot for 6. Not eat the... Oh, or I could do both. Right, we get an extra energy on the first turn. I'm so spacey. I kind of forgot that if we have... now that we have the boost thing, when we draw the power drive card, it's actually like incredibly powerful. It's a good combo to have taken retroactively on purpose. Okay, well, you have none health left, so this is just scoot and shoot. The humble approach, his ship is called. Oh, clean exhaust. The thing about clean exhaust is that it's completely bananas, right? Yeah, with this and the... There are, so many situations where clean exhaust and strong start are going to clash. But like this, being able to just dump the fumes out of your deck for free and stuff. There's also pillage and plunder. I think I'm actually going to take the Pillage and Plunder. What I'm thinking with Clean Exhaust is I would really prefer to play the Overdrive card off the top into this boost, so Glissade is certainly not bad. Gain an energy every time you spend 3+ energy playing a card, so I think the only thing, yeah, Pillage and Plunder, and then if we do upgrade Power Play to not do damage to us, those are the only cards that will be affected by that right now. And the Glissade is certainly not bad. I have to say, it's a little bit of a strange... I get like the feeling of the sort of like very smooth slide to the side, but when I think about Perry's temperament, the word that comes to mind is not Glissade. I think Energy Refund ends up not being very exciting for us right now. The question is, do I think it will get better enough? I'm gonna take it and hope so. Let us upgrade a card, and I am gonna bump the Power Play up to effectively 2 cost. Sort of. It's not quite as good as it being 2 cost, obviously. Well, that's lucky. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Power Play and get my energy back. Do this, and then hit you for 9 to open the battle. Okay, this is a little worse. But if we slide to here, give it one of these. The fight's almost over. Okay, I'm confident that we're going to wrap this on the next turn. This thing really doesn't have any movement at all. Okay, do I want a second Pillage and Plunder? I think it's either second Pillage and Plunder or don't take any of this stuff. I'm going to take it. Power Diversion, 1 extra energy every turn. All non-parry card attacks deal 1 less damage. Oh, interesting. So that would affect EMP, Slug, and Volatile Vapor. And I guess Basic Shot. It's really not that bad, honestly. And 1 extra energy every turn is so insanely powerful. What else do we have here? You can't skip card rewards, and no, that's I think this might actually be negative in value. And this lets you have the free Jupiter drones. But this is as good as or better than free Jupiter drones. Yeah, alright. Hey, books. Hello? 1. Did it work? I get it. That's because of the earlier. Whoa. Ta-da. How did you do that? Well, crystals are magic. It's scientifically proven. Excuse me? I couldn't help but notice that you have a special role in this time loop. Can I join your crew one of these times? Well, I don't see how we could stop you. Okay, see you real soon. Is that for real? I'd be down with that, to have books on the crew. Just new bodies, you know? This is my, like, one major concern with this game. There aren't different bosses. There's a pretty limited number of cards per person, it seems like, and I am very worried that we're gonna run out of stuff to do pretty quickly. Yeah, so Basic Shot has become bad. That's a real shame. If we were gonna remove a card, that was likely to be the card anyway. But, boy, that's become a problem. Okay, so this is not very exciting. Do I want a front-loaded blast even? Is it worth it? Then we're definitely gonna do this. I kind of don't want to. No, I think we won't. Trying front-loaded blast on turn 1 feels pretty bad a lot of the time. So I guess we're gonna burn our Corrupted Core and just end the turn. Not a very exciting turn 1, honestly. Okay, This is more interesting. So here, as silly as it is, I think we play lunge with no drone out. Just to get our drone into a position that makes some more sense. And then bam, bam, bam. Just apply two. Like, that's not the most optimal way to consume that, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't really want to power play this turn anyway, right? I want to release you and then EMP slug. And then I guess just probably basic dodge. Oh, I have a point in dodge already. I probably just want to do 4 damage. What am I talking about? Why would I dodge when I can kill you? Oh, right. That attack doesn't do the big damage by default. You have to earn the big damage. Well, we can certainly stand over here. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Just kind of not really doing anything this turn. Okay, so the other Pillage and Plunder is still in the deck. This is definitely a thing where we could like sandbag for a while. Okay, so Ichial is going to do 2 damage. This time it will actually kill. And in fact, we can even do this. Now it will super kill. You know, I don't hate Serenity. Total stun out the enemy ship for some heat cost, like... It is very good. Turn the enemy ship off is a very good effect. It's almost always going to deal 1 damage to you, effectively. But it doesn't end your turn. Yeah, that seems strong. Okay, so... We are getting... I guess we're going to take this lower path. We're getting 2 artifacts at most, no matter which way we do this. Ooh, look at all the brittle spots. Yeah, activate those defense protocols. You tell them. So, a little bit of a bummer here is that Solar Flare would actually be pretty bad with boost. We have to be careful not to do that to ourselves. And in fact, not really sure how I want to approach this. This is pretty ugly. Like, we can step left and eat A damage. We can lunge and then heat sink. So at 2 here. And then we're still taking a laser onto our weak point. This is just not a great spot for the opponent to be in. Well, if we Solar Flare here, we're going to gain 3 heat. But we can Solar Flare and then heat sink. Okay, I think I'm doing that. I guess I should have scooted over first. We could yeah, that was foolishness. I guess we better deal damage while we can here. This is really awkward. The way I want to move over keeps being a really bad idea. All right, I think this turn is probably just like power play. And we can slide to the side. Yeah. Jupiter's moons. Reroll in basic blocks so that we don't actually take any damage from the one of these that pierces into our weak point, and this lets us prep another drone. Okay, EMP slug's interesting. Doesn't really allow us to do anything here because we can't move in a way that's productive. I kind of just don't even want to... I'm gonna like burn my corrupted core and play dodge and pass the turn because I don't want to gain the heat for, you know, for an EMP slug that does nothing. All right, basic shift here is actually really live. Okay, I like that a bunch. And then I hate the fact that their parts armor. It's inconvenient. All right, get out of Jupiter drone, and I think I am just going to do multi-shot into front-loaded blast. It's still a lot of damage. But because of the armoring, it's not quite lethal. Well, I guess when he shoots the space mine, he'll die, though. Never mind. It is lethal. What am I talking about? What is that? Whenever this ship attacks, it gains 1 temp shield. Depending on how that effect is coded, it might actually be completely nothing for us. Admin Deploy B is interesting. But I don't know that I want to put another card in my deck for this effect. I think I'm gonna skip these rewards. And then here, I'm going to neither steal artifacts nor murder you, but I am gonna take basic shot out of my deck. This card is bad now. Please help. Okay, not a bad start, not a bad start. Really not a bad start. Super, super not a bad start. That's very fun. Do I want to also just gank him for 6? Puts him on 9 HP? As opposed to grabbing a dodge? Yeah, I think I do, in fact. Indeed, Drake, indeed. Okay, so that only does 3 damage. And I can't get us to a place where it would deal more. Kind of can't do anything. Let me go ahead and do this. I think we'll just take the 3 damage and then pass the turn. Okay, a pointed drone shift would have been cool, but whatever. So slide over. Yeah, I don't get the kill no matter what I do here. Oh, that's not true. Because of the lunge. We have the kill. Yeah. I'm like disregarding the lunge. We can't get the pillage and plunder, unfortunately. But I guess I don't need it. Yeah, it's fine. Lunge plus EMP slug gets us there and means we don't have to pay the consequences of our heat, and that's like gaining a hull in some ways. Probably... Oh, boy. I was about to say we probably don't need a second power play, but like, what if we had a second power play, though? But like, have you considered? Lazy Barrage can end up being 4 shots. No, wait. Don't fall for this. Lazy Barrage would do 0 damage because of that parry thing. I guess once we have the power play up, it's good. I'm going to take a second power play. Jettison hatch is pretty whatever. Ignition coil is also pretty whatever. I think here's a thought. Do I have to codex? Have we ever actually taken the heat thing? No, I've never taken it. And yeah, books has been added to our character menu. That's interesting. So I might take it just to light it up on the screen here. We have taken Jettison hatch before, and we are likely to take it again. The thing is, I kind of don't think we're going to be doing very much of this at this point. But I also think ignition coil it's so unlikely to actually affect your damage. I guess sometimes on the last turn, we fire with 3 heat. No hitting each other's weak hit points. How do you even say that? Okay, no, I don't think Drake would respect that anyway. No honor to be gained nor lost. I accept. Okay, cool, great. I love it when you accept. This is my greatest concern in life. Is whether I am living my life up to your standards. I think we can just kind of watch all this happen. Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate that. So these deal 3 damage each. It's a bummer, to be sure. So we can lunge and Jupiter's moons and then slide 1 to the right. Kind of think that's the world we're living in here. And then like I think I can live with this. Okay, would have been a pretty cool time for a what do you call it? An EMP blast. And certainly not the most optimal time for me to have both of my pillage and plunders in hand. But, you know, this is still pretty solid. It's about that solid, roughly. Yeah, we'll skip these, thanks. Artifacts! Okay, we're getting that glissade whether we want it or not. Bet you won't let us shuffle all your ship parts. Please don't. Oh, it'll be fun. You know? Hit it. Okay, that's interesting. The drone bay being all the way on that side has definitely weighted the value of dodges for us. Glissade to the right is a much better play than it would have been otherwise. Do I do almost anything this turn? I am definitely thinking that scooting leftward and just doing nothing to maintain, like basically nothing, to maintain boost might be reasonable. The other thing I could do is lunge and then scoot rightward. That takes this 2-shot down here, and it does let me put Jupiter's moons out in front of him. Well, I guess, yeah, because the missile will be aimed at my wing, and Jupiter's moons will be in this. The Jupiter drone will be there where it can actually shoot stuff. I do kind of like that, but I'm gonna avoid playing any cards that give us any statuses, and we'll see if that turns out to be like deep foolishness. I know I could have glissaded. I did not glissade on purpose. We're gonna hold the glissade. Okay. That's interesting. So we did not draw any of our power-ups, which is obviously what I was hoping for. A slide 2 would put us in front of that missile. Gets us out of the way of this missile and puts us in front of that missile. It's not like super good. Because one thing we could certainly do here, is just solar flare and eat a missile. I don't really want to put my weak points in front of the missile, especially. But also, if I glissade to the left instead, it's not really any better. No, this is quite awkward. Okay, so maybe I volatile vapor to have this be the thing that eats the boost so that I can solar flare without overheating. Or maybe I just accept the overheat, honestly, because, like, maybe it's better to EMP slug and solar flare. Yeah, alright. I don't entirely love it, but means we only take one actual hull damage plus the one from the heat. And I think that's the best version of this. And, you know, we're doing damage and we're prepping and stuff. I gotta tell you, the lack of evade in our deck is killing me a little bit. The Glissade is not evade. Because I'd really like to be able to just like move one space a lot of the time, you know? Okay. Yeah, this sucks. There's no version of this that isn't incredibly bad for us. We can... Like, Glissade doesn't get us to a place that matters at all. It lets me avoid 1 point of damage, basically, and I think I have to play it because it does that. Jupiter's Moons lets me actually shoot the enemy a little bit. That's nice. You deal some damage. I think it would be a really bad idea. This sucks ass. Having had both of the power plays be in the bottom 3 cards of the deck. I don't think front-loaded blast is a good idea. Okay, EMP slugs something. So if we power play, we get an energy back. We can EMP slug, but it will be terrible to do so. We can basic shift and move one of the missiles off of our ship. And then take 5 and almost die. And that's literally the best we can do, is take 5 and almost die. Yep. Okay, well, that's what it is then. And of course I'll go ahead and just play all the cards in the wrong order. Well, you know what, actually, this might end up being better than taking the power play anyway, because this way we have 3 drones up. But of course he's gonna move in such a way that actually we have 0 drones up effectively. And then we do not get to live. We don't draw any cards that do anything. That's a real shame. Yeah, the lack of evasion is tough. This setup has the same problem that the Drake Max Isaac setup had, where you just don't have any defensive options because you don't have the shield person and you don't have the dodge person. Yeah, there is actually no way to survive this, right? Because 2 points of temp shielding doesn't help us. We still take 3. We need more things that let us draw cards. All right, well then I am just gonna go ahead and hit the button here. Let the horrible death occur. And maybe we can, you know, let's have a quick look at books, shall we? Because we died pretty late in the run, but honestly, we got to pretty late in the run pretty quickly here. It's tough. Those runs where you have neither of the defensive characters are really tough. New character deck. An alchemist. Her cards use Shard as a resource to power up defense, movement, and mid-row actions. She has a custom resource. That's fun. So I might cut Drake. Power up defense, movement, and mid-row actions. So, okay, the thing is, we want to use Max so that we can stop using Max, basically, because I don't find Max's cards or anything very compelling. We've already gotten all of Max's artifacts. How are we doing on Max's cards? Can I sort by... I can sort by deck, but I can't filter. So actually, there's like a ton of Max's cards that we've never seen before, and that is a real shame because I want to just kind of be done with Max. I think a lot of Max's stuff is really boring. But in any case, like keeping Max on, I think makes sense. And then we probably only need one of the hyper offense characters. Parry at least gives you some movement. I guess let's drop Drake for the moment. And let's just try it like this. Let's just roll it back out. Because I still like the Jupiter drone plus parry cards stuff. Alright. Let's have a quick look at what our starting cards do. So Unpolished Crystal puts a crystal shard in your hand, which gains you a shard. And then this card gives you a shield and also does 2 damage if you can spend a crystal. Okay, I get the basic idea is pretty straightforward there. So 2 random cards to type A is still probably pretty live. Yeah, give me that. Okay, this became buoyant. We will always have this at the start of combat. Okay, and one of the basic shots became free. That's like fine. Hey, wow. Books. So this is what the inside of your ship looks like. Yeah. Can I press this button? No. Wait, actually yes. Most of the buttons in here are fake anyway, because you know sometimes we have rigs in here and she can't necessarily be trusted. Well, let me start with one of these. Give me that crystal shard. We should probably establish this as quickly as possible, right? Oh, right. It's always going to give you the Jupiter's moons if you've played the Jupiter's moons already. That's probably a thing worth remembering. Do I even want a multi-shot or do I want to just drop the corrupted core? You know what? I'm going to bank a dodge. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Jupiter's moons. Let's mage hand because that's plainly very good. And then I guess basic shot, but like, why not? Why not lunge instead? That way I'm over here, and if he wants to shoot at me, he can come near my drones. Or he can do that thing, which is really annoying. Here's what I think of that. I'm going to be over here. You will stand in front of the guns, or I will ignore you. These are the options. Okay, I wish we had a way to move the drones around a little bit, but this is not terrible. So books makes it a lot easier to have some shielding while maintaining your offense. Mage hand seems very good. Just step over here. Probably not going to play lunge. Lunge feels pretty bad. Mage hand does literally nothing. Yep, okay. Look at this. Look at the cowardice. Yeah, I think with books in the deck, we're gonna have a lot easier time staying alive here. So second mage hand is interesting, but we're already straining our shards. So swizzle shift moves you left, and then if you pay a shard into it, gives you 2 shards. That's an interesting card. Yeah, the flipped version, that's I think probably going to be something we want in the deck. Again, it's not... Branch prediction's also interesting. It's a little unreliable though, huh? I'm gonna take the swizzle shift. Okay, wow, that's 4 artifacts in a row along the top line. I think we gotta go for that. It's true. Your proximity has been alerted. Well, let's get you out here. Get that crystal shard so we can draw a card. I gotta remember that. That's gonna bite me many times. And it's not even a bad thing. It's just a bad thing if you forget that it's there. Okay, this is an opportunity for just playing the mage hand raw. I think that'll be perfectly fine. and bank some dodge. Okay, not terrible, not terrible. Do I want to? I guess I will. Just throw a drone in front of the other gun. It's fine. Yeah, I have to say, I feel like Mage Hand's very good. Overpower's less exciting. The temporary boost is... It's harder to time. Overpower A is interesting, at least because it hardly costs you anything. But I think I'm going to skip these. Oh, it's time for the high-pitched static. Obviously, you will be giving me books cards. We want to see more books cards. Sapphire Shield's pretty whatever. You know? More unpolished crystal actually feels pretty good. You are not like the others. You are strange. Yeah, unlike the others, right? Well, people are always saying that. Energy readings are back to normal. It kind of burned you and then just ran off. Hey, Drake. How's it going? This is annoying. This would be a really good time to have some mid-row shift. Well, let's lunge. And then... probably just scoot over. No, I'm going to block this. Right, it's every single... Okay. Just gotta remember the orders. Do things in a different order than that. This is not a bad time, I think, to double up my crystals. And then I think I'd rather bank... In this situation, maybe it's better to bank a drone shift than it is to bank evade. Yeah. So how do I want to deal with this? Well, first of all, I want to unpolished crystal first before banking my drone for the turn. Critically important. Maybe I'm not going to spend any drone shift. Maybe I'm going to just block. Just do that and let the drones play defense. Since they seem to want to so badly, you know. We are super high on shards right now. Just like put out a drone for defense again. Just trying to like stay in the general area of the enemy. Playing Crystal Shard now actually seems kind of bad. I think this is a case where I use this effect on purpose. Right, to let me get an extra drone out. And then this is going to leave us taking one, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. And it puts us in a really good position to end the fight. Okay, come on, just like, there we go. I just need like one more bit of damage. The shield was very inconvenient. I don't think we want any of that. The Resonance Fork. Fill shards to max at start of combat. That's like fine. You know what? The Overcharger is actually probably okay for us. Yep, we're all very impressed with you, George. So I can't play Jupiter's Moons twice anyway. I may as well Crystal Shard. Yeah, I guess I'll just get this out here. Okay, that's very awkward right now. Do I swizzle shift? I probably don't need to, right? It's like bank some basic shift and call it good. Okay, both of our drones in front of their weak points is pretty fantastic. Solid. At the very least, solid. Ow. Well. That's a little bit more damage than I would have liked to have taken there. Ooh, all new stuff. I like the background art on Books' cards. The Medusa field. Instantly turn every object in the mid-row into geodes, which gives you a shard when destroyed. Okay, note that that says when destroyed, not when you destroy them. That's pretty bananas. Although obviously it's like uniquely bad with this ship. Quantum Quarry. Gain a shard every turn. Okay, that's really not necessary. Remove the mid-row object in front of your missile bay without destroying it, turn it around, and put it in a release in your hand. Oh, catch and release, sure. That's cute. It retains... You know what? We're going to take that. That's interesting. Start of combat, gain temp shield equal to your missing hull. Every 5th time you attack, gain 1 evade. So, again... Depending on the way this is coded, this might do literally nothing with this ship. But I think jumper cables is pretty bad. Yeah, a one-time application of temp shield. And it's based on a value that you want to be minimizing at all times. Like, we're going to take the crosslink even if it does nothing. Okay, Grazer Beam's really good, actually. Yeah, all right. So, how do I want to manage this? Wish I had more cards. Let's Jupiter's Moon's here. Stupid. Should've. Yeah, no, that was stupid. I should have played that before. I should have played the Crystal Shard first. Well. We're gonna take another point of hull damage, basically. I guess give me this now and we'll play... Okay. Well, the Mage Hand plus basic block is at least going to cover the damage. That's nice. Also, that's, you know, it's reasonable. It would not be a very good idea to play Jupiter's Moons right now. Nor any of this other fun stuff. It's cool. I don't need to live. Okay. So, I'm still gonna get hit twice. I'm actually dead. If I had played both the basic dodge and the reroll there instead of, like, I was just not looking ahead to the end of the turn. Because we're already getting to the part of sitting in this chair where my whole lower half is screaming. Yeah, we could have survived this turn, but at the cost of being like completely out of resources and with no drones in the air. But I think we're just dead. Because we're going to take 2 from this attack if I move to the left. Or we're going to take 4 from this attack if I don't move, meaning that shielding is irrelevant. And I can't get anywhere near killing him. Yep, alright, well. I'm trying. It is rough. It is rough on this difficulty. But I think that I have a lot of hope for basically like this build with books. It is possible that just like there's already too many cards in this deck. The things are just unreliable. You start with a pretty big deck. It's very difficult to get it down to a size of reliability, especially if you are trying to take, actual good cards. But yeah, I think I have a lot of hope for this trio. And then maybe we can retire Max, because I just think Max kind of doesn't contribute a lot most of the time. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, it's going to be this again, but it's going to work. For reasons that are... Listen, it's just going to, okay? Just trust me. Just trust me. Have I ever steered you wrong before? Don't answer that, and we'll see you then.